All right, Elle. The red light is on. What is this? Second week of MMA Weekly Roundup? A little new Schnegendig? I like it.
I like it.
Wait, let
It
me
reminds
bring-
me of Toy Story. Woody's Roundup.
Wow, dude, they're gonna do Toy Story 5 next year. You saw that?
No, it should be over.
It
Was
has to be over.
perfect. It was
Yeah,
perfect.
I
Like
know.
it's done. Don't ruin it.
I'm spelling up Weekly Roundup right now. I thought I had it, and I went over it because of our UFC card break. I want this button. There we go. I feel good now. I feel good. All right. So the point of the main reason of this show is, of course, we do it on Tuesdays and Ben and Bananas. It's all in about betting, and then like stuff happens. It's combat sports. It's MMA world. It's amazing now how much news we have. So I'm like, dude, by the end of the week, I kind of want to give everything what people missed. So I have a long list. There's gonna be something fun we're gonna do, guys. Jose Aldo is fighting tomorrow night. He retired, so he's coming back. So me and Elle are gonna do like an MMA draft of retired mixed martial artists that we would love to see. Of course, ladies go first, so Elle will have the first pick. Hopefully, you guys can rate our teams. But there's a lot of stuff to get into. But I do want to start first on a very horrible, somber note. And I didn't talk about this at all on Tuesday because I didn't want to. And then I listened to 3-4 podcasts and they all hit on it. So I feel like we have to, Elle. Of course, talking about Francis Ngannou's son passing away. And I saw that really good picture today of Usman with him and all that stuff. And you know me, Elle, of like, I think I have a calendar right there of my family. We're playing soccer. I put it up in the studio. I feel like I'm Mr. Dad. So like when I heard that, it's just the absolute worst. But as an MMA show or community or whatever that we're doing, I definitely think we should just, at least say something or address it, and just all you can do is give your condolences and wish, send them prayers and send them the best. I don't know what this means for him moving forward. I really don't. I don't know what would I do. I don't know if I would ever do fight stuff again. I don't know. It's pretty wild to think about that going into that aspect of it, but just a horrible, horrible situation scenario.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. Parents are not meant to outlive their children. That's horrible.
Crazy. All right, well, turn in the leaf. There's nothing else you can say.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. It's just horrible.
Yeah, absolute horrible. Talking about another little thing that's kind of horrible in the combat sports space. How about Ryan Garcia getting popped tested for what? Do you know what he got?
Yeah, Austerine. And I actually know quite a bit about Austerine.
I felt like you would. Give us the tea. Spill the tea here.
Austerine is not really something that you would find in another supplement. From my experience, Austrine's a SARM, and it's they're usually not processed near I do not believe that he took ashwagandha root that was contaminated with Austerine. I do not think that happened.
So you think
that would be very, very, very unlikely for those supplements to be processed in the same facility. So
with that being said, you think there's something 100% sure illegal happened there? Then not right.
Austurine's not something you would pop for a false positive. That's not really how that works. Yeah, it's not. I could be mistaken, but I don't think it has a particularly long half-life. So I don't think that it's something that would have been sitting in his system for a really, really long time. Something he took years and years and years ago that is just now popping up in picograms.
Right.
I don't think that's how Austerine works. So I don't know if this part is true, but I did read that the drug test was voluntary. He didn't have to take it.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It's
if that part's true, that's absolutely bonkers that he even decided to do that. Maybe he thought it was out of his system, and that's why he made a decision to take the test. But Garcia is just bizarre. Yeah. 1 minute I'm like, this guy might be a genius, and then the next I'm like, no, that's definitely not it. So,
and I know your husband's a huge comic book and superhero guy. He's almost like the Joker, and I know some people can think he's the Joker's smart in a way, but no, he's just insane. He's just insane. He's off his rocker. I don't think I don't trust or believe anything that he says or does. Like even just the live that he did afterwards, it's like, that was horrible. Like, so
Yeah.
hard to watch. Like, dude, you're Ryan Garcia. Like, you're one of the biggest boxing stars in the world. You can call up ESPN and get like a big, like legit big boy real interview if you wanted to. Almost any, Ariel Helwani, whoever. Like, you can, we did Dustin Poirier last week, and maybe we had a killer interview with him. But like, Ryan Garcia could get anyone. For him just to do a live with like his two buddies, like, what was that? It was awful.
He's a bizarre human.
Yeah.
A bizarre person. Keelan said one normal day in the world of boxing.
Love it.
Just one day. I don't think it's ever going to happen, Keelan.
It's not. Like, I'm so happy that MMA and especially UFC, there's always going to be stuff, but I feel like it's 90% positive. Like, we're talking about Jose Aldo return, like one of the most beloved fighters ever. Like, that's the UFC. Like, I feel like we don't deal with a lot of nonsense. There's always going to be stuff, but not as much as boxing, right? Like, at least I feel.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I don't know. The nonsense from today for me is William Gomis.
Please.
Like, I don't understand how that happened. How did you end up 3 pounds under where you needed to be without going and checking your weight? Like, who was making?
The guy's dying, Elle. He's dying.
Who was making him stay in the tub or the sauna long enough to get under 3 pounds? He was 143. Like, and he was one of my most confident picks. I thought he was going to do really, really well. I loved him as a dog here. And I don't think he's really ever struggled to make weight in the past. Like, we haven't seen him struggle like this, which I don't even know if he would have struggled because he was already down to 143 by the time he got to the scale.
And me, with never cutting weight to fight for a living, like yourself and your husband, I've always heard, always, you can lose that quick 8 or 9, and then you're at fight week, and then you're 8 off. That last one, or those last 2, especially that last one, is the absolute worst. That guy did that times 4. Like, the guy was 4 pounds, like, under. Like, what is he doing? Be at 146?
Yeah.
He's 3-4 pounds. Like, what are you doing?
No way Grant could make 153. Like, not a freaking chance. And if he was in there, like, if he was under 156, he'd be like, every 10 minutes, he'd be like, let me check. Let me go check real quick. Like, how did he stay in that long? Like, and why? Who was in charge of this?
I don't know why we haven't done a slow motion intro of Grant with his arm bicep. What, dude? Is your husband a mixed martial artist, or is he Mr. Universe? What was he doing? Like, Grant did one of these things, and he just, like, he looked like Hulk Hogan in 1985. Like, this dude. I've always been a pro Grant guy, but man, Lee, I
think Dave is gonna steal my husband, guys.
Hey, I'm very confident. Me and my wife, we're very confident together. So we're, I can say these things, but wild. I just think that's wild. Hey, talking about husbands, how cool is it? Tuesday, Fight Bananas live, 1:30. Maddie's amazing husband, Ross Levine, will be joining the show. We should have Julian the Savage Robertson, 301, kind of recap and all that stuff. So big show, like always, on Tuesday. I think we got one more guest coming through. But Daisy, I know, I'm sorry. More Grant.
I have a maybe guest, too. I have a maybe guest that I think you'll like. So. I'm working.
Does it rhyme with maybe Fanfosia?
No. I'm not bothering Pantoja right now. God, no.
Well, afterwards, after he retains his championship, that he will do.
Maybe I'll bother him next week, but not today.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for that fight though. We've been shitting on the card for sure a little bit because I think to me it deserves it. But I'm getting seriously excited for at least for the main event. I am. But are you? When you inch closer to a big pay-per-view like that, do you get kind of more pumped up for it day by day?
Yeah. I'm excited for this one anyway, because I have 3 teammates on it. So even if the rest of the card isn't great, I have 3 fights that I'm super excited and nervous for, so. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Gomez did that. So I can check that off my list. Also, did you see, probably going to butcher his name, I apologize, Elves Brenner? Did you see his wake up video?
Brenner, yeah.
Dude, what are we doing, Elle? What are they doing in Brazil right now?
Grant goes this morning. I don't know if he wants me to quote this or not, but he came up to me this morning and he goes, you know how I'll always say, like, in the weight cut, like anything goes, whatever you need to do to make weight. Nothing's gay, nothing's weird, whatever you got to do to make weight. And he showed it to me, the video, and he goes, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
The comment section just killed me.
What was the guy doing on the back of his head? Like, that's what you do to your significant other. Like, that's it.
Well, my favorite part was just Charles inside the sauna with him. Like,
Well, like,
why are you in there too? Like, yeah, like I get it. Or if it's getting weird, like, don't post it. Don't post it.
Bro,
Like, if you need it to make the weight, that's cool, but don't make a video.
100% agree. That I was going to say that video should not be out. Like, it really should not be out. There's things, Elle, that you and your husband do in your own house in your own time. Nothing with that, but like, there's stuff that you guys do that you don't need to put on Instagram, right? There's just talk. Like, me and Susie have pillow talk. That's between us. Like, that's our own conversations. I'm not gonna go on a podcast and tell what we talk about, when we're laying down on pillows, right? But the Charles thing, it's so funny you say that. I actually didn't mind that. He's in there. It's almost to me like, hey, brother, I got you. I'm in this with you. The guy that really got me was remember that Cyril Gahn video that went viral? The guy was like rubbing his head, but he wasn't like, hey, bro, I got you. Like, he was just like massaging the back of his head and neck. I'm like,
that one wasn't as weird for me as Charles inside the sauna with him.
That's so funny.
That was the one for me. I'm like, that seems like it would be worse for me as the fighter.
Yeah. No,
it's like to make me feel even more claustrophobic inside the sauna. Like, I just don't understand. Like, yeah, rub my head, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm going to make weight. Like, tell me whatever I need to hear, but I don't know that I want to spoon you inside the sauna.
And how cool is it? I will give this guy some, I think, brownie points or some, like, bro points, whatever. How cool is it? It's literally Charles Oliveira, one of the most famous fighters on the planet.
That's your bro. That's the dude spooning you in the sauna.
Yeah. It's like, dude, like, Charles Oliveira does not have to do that. He can say to his other guy, like, hey, dude, you get in this goddamn thing. I'm not doing this. Yeah. Like, you go spoon that man. Make sure he makes weight. I'm Charles Oliveira. I'm a 3-time champion. Like, come on. Like, crazy. That was wild. I cannot believe that video got out.
Hey, he wanted it posted. He's the one who posted it. It is what it is. My thing is how, like, this is probably the first time I got to go back to this. This is probably the first time this has ever happened that every fighter on the card technically made weight, but one of the fights got scratched because the dude weighed too little. Like, how did that happen?
I know.
Anyway, sorry. I won't come back to it.
Like, that one coach is like, you had one job to do. You have one job. The guy's dicey. He's going to fight. He's going to be the backer for the flyweight championship fight. He's a bantam. He's a featherweight. What is he doing trying to make 125?
Oh, my gosh.
Did you see the Steve Ercik thing? I saw today on socials that he was 149 when he figured out, or even
like
more than that.
Right?
Yeah, no, like, even more. I think it was like 35 pounds over. He goes, like, it's one of the heaviest he's ever weighed. I think it was like 159, I believe. Yeah.
Dang.
So, like, kind of knowing that, and who knows why it's out or who it's out for and if it's real, but knowing that, dude, that's
He's a hard guy to tell too if he looks rough on the scale, because he already has like a long face.
Yeah. He always looks rough.
He always kind of looks rough. Like, so it's kind of hard to tell if he's like super sunk in or if he's like, he's normal,
Yeah. It's MMA, and we literally see Holly Holm defeat Ronda. We've seen Matt Serra defeat GSP. We've seen some wild stuff happen, but I will be shocked on Saturday night if Pantoja is not in still. Like,
well, and the people that he's being compared to, like, I keep seeing it's like, oh, these are all the guys who had like 3 fights or less in the UFC before they became champions, and they're like Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira, and it's like Yuri Prochazka had a decade of combat sports experience and an insane record before he ever came to the UFC. Alex Pereira was a multiple-time world champion and
he's a Hall of Famer for glory.
Yeah, like, these guys, it's different. Like, Ercik is a really talented fighter, but he's young. Like, he's young. He doesn't have that experience yet the way Pantoja does. I just think it's different.
Yeah, this is a good one. I think this was on Embedded. So he was eating KFC when he got the phone call for the championship. And like he had to make a decision if I was going to finish the chicken. Of course, dude, you absolutely, if you're mid-meal, you say you got to finish it, eat it.
Don't lie, you ate that chicken.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you should.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like a last
you, I think I heard he was 159. It was like that, and he even said he's like it was the heaviest he's ever weighed. Like in
and he's making champ weight. Like that's an extra
last pound.
A pound doesn't sound terrible, but it is.
Gomez was close.
It's so nuts that Gomez went over 3 because 1 pound is horrible.
Oh gosh.
Sean said he finished it. He finished the chicken as he should.
Good man. I actually have more respect for him now. I really do.
No,
all right.
So blowing that he made the weight. I'm impressed.
Yeah, for sure. Imagine if he didn't and that fight got scrapped. Oh my God. We talked about
I bet they just would have been like, okay, well, he's not eligible to win the belt, is what they should have done. Because they need that fight.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like
they need that fight.
God forbid we're doing a UFC watch along, or I would be at Buffalo Wild Wings for this one. But anyways, all right. Couple last things. We do have a fun draft. Elle, like I said, if anything else jumps at you for the week, please come with it. These are just the notes I have. One fun note, and I used it for the thumbnail for this MMA weekly roundup. And it's been cool with Alex Pieda being over there. Of course, Charles Oliveira is there spooning people in sodas. But the King of Rio, Jose Aldo, is there doing his thing, and Pantoja being Brazil. You can just feel that Brazil MMA feel. It's real, right? But I just have this fun, blunt question straight up to you. If I say Brazil MMA, who's the first name that pops in your head?
Anderson Silva.
Okay.
Like of all time, it's gotta be
really.
Silva. Aldo's right there. But I think Silva is like king.
Well, it's so funny. I just think, are you ready for this one? I think this is the age gap between you and I. To me, it's Royce Gracie. Like
there are pioneers, and then there's people who actually could have won fights in today's era, which I don't think Gracie's in that.
No, I totally agree. But just like if you just say Brazil MMA, like if you say NBA, I say Michael Jordan. Like I know I'm a LeBron guy, but like I just like you say
Royce Gracie is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to me. Like
okay, no, that's actually that's a great
absolutely
point.
Like
that's
he helped pioneer the sport of MMA,
right.
But overall, like he's jiu-jitsu more so than he is MMA.
Okay. And then this is kind of funny, and especially for you, if I say Brazil female MMA, who do you think of?
Amanda Nunes.
Okay. I thought so too.
Who else would you like?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of females Brazilian that are like big, like now, but like, yeah, I agree. It's Amanda.
Like there's some great ones, Jessica Andrade, Claudia Gadelha, but like overall, like if you have to pick one, it has to be Amanda.
Yeah.
Nobody else has come close to her legacy.
Oh, I agree with that. Oh, Shogun Rua, that's a good one. Yep, Shogun. No, there's tons. There's you can't even do like people do Mount Rushmores all the time. I feel like you can't even do a Brazil Mount Rushmore. You'll miss one because how can you not say Anderson Silva, Gracie, Jose, Shogun, and you don't have Amanda on it? Like there's so much to get into. There's so many other guys too. All right. Are you ready for this draft thing that we're going to do?
I'm ready.
Okay,
I got some good ones.
Right. So what we're going to do, guys, Jose Aldo, the King of Rio, is back. He was absolutely retired. He had a couple boxing matches. I was literally at one of the boxing events live for Game Bred Boxing in Milwaukee, the Pfizer Forum. I covered the event. Jose Aldo is awesome. So cool to everyone, but he was done in MMA, retired. They put him into the UFC Hall of Fame. Like the UFC doesn't do that often, like a quick guy like that. So we really thought he was probably, never going to come back to the UFC. He's back. He's the co-main event against Jonathan Martinez, which I'm super excited about that fight. I think me and Elle have different fighters on that. I think Elle has Jose. I got Martinez. But regardless the fact, he returned from being retired. And to me, like a real retirement, not a Conor McGregor retirement, a legitimate retirement. So our idea is we're going to have a draft, 3 fighters each. We're going to go, Elle has the first pick, ladies first. Then I will have a pick, Elle, myself. We're going to have 3 fighters that we want to see come back in the UFC. Her team against my team. Hopefully you guys will
I
make
didn't
an
know
artwork.
this is like a versus thing.
Yes, this is a versus.
I'm gonna win.
This is a versus. So we'll make artwork for it. Hopefully you guys vote on it here, or we'll do it on our social platforms. But this is our first ever draft return into competition. Elle, like I said, you have the first pick. So you take it away.
Prime, like when he fought Anderson, Chael Sonnen.
Wow. Okay. So Chael Sonnen. Okay. I like that pick. I'm going to give you a 6-minute explanation per each person.
Do you want me to go in?
No. You got it. Great pick. I love Chael Sonnen. I think Elle and I might see Chael Sonnen sooner than what people think. I'm just going to keep that as that. I'll talk to you off air. All right. So Chael Sonnen's first pick. My first pick. And this is, to me, this has to be the number one pick. I'm surprised Elle didn't pick this person. This person, if we popped him back right now in the UFC lightweight division, there's so many fights. There's so many things we would love to see. Guys, if we can see Conor Habib too, everyone thinks Conor Habib's the biggest fight ever. So many people, when Charles Oliveira went on that run, we all were like, guys, Habib's going to come back. Charles was at that peak.
Right.
Dustin, Habib, there's so many things. Not even that. I know they would never do it, but like in a dream world, imagine Islam versus Habib. Like they'd just
Arman,
yeah, there you go. So my first pick of coming back into MMA and being in the 155-pound division is Habib Nurmagomedov.
That was going to be on my list too, so I'm glad I prepared more than 3. So, but I had to take Chael just in case you came in with Chael.
Right, I like that. I like that.
Me. So next, 25-year-old Yoel Romero. This is a fantasy draft.
I love how you're so particular. I love this.
Because Yoel Romero got signed to the UFC at 36, Dave.
Yeah,
How insane is that? Yoel Romero was a stud, and he was already 36. Now, let's imagine, like, we got to see him at his absolute, like, ultimate prime in the UFC.
He would murder people, probably. Like, murder.
Look at him now.
Yeah.
He's a freaking specimen. He's like 43.
No. I think he's like 46, 47. Yeah, look that up. Okay, so Sean, real quick, my man. We know Habib's not gonna fight this. This is a dream world, man. We're Elle's bringing back 25-year-old Yoel Romero. Come on, this is a
made up a person that will never exist again.
Yeah, we're having fun here. This is a fantasy draft.
I don't think Yoel Romero was even training MMA when he was 25. So I'm saying Yoel Romero's 35-year-old MMA skills in Yoel Romero's 25-year-old body.
Oh, amazing. How old is he? Are you looking at?
Yeah.
I love Google.
He
All right.
47.
47!
Dave, you better step your game up. Yoel Romero's got abs on his abs.
I'm eating grilled chicken now. I'm doing it. My best friend's son, who's in CrossFit, kid's an absolute stud. He's like, I believe he's like 16 or 17 years old. Great kid. Love, like, our family's blend, right? Great kid. Last night we're on FaceTime and I'm talking to his dad and we're just like shooting the shit. And he challenged me to something. He's like, hey, we're going to like wrestle, right? He's like, hey, take off your, I'm wearing a Game Bread bare knuckle hoodie. He's like, take off your hoodie. Let me see your abs. I'm like, dude, you're an asshole, dude. You're an asshole. I'm not 24 anymore, man. I got 4 kids. Come on. Jeez. All right. I'm going to send this to him. All right.
Oh, my gosh.
So Elle's got Chael Sonnen. I picked Habib Nurmagomedov. Elle's second pick was Yoel Romero.
25-year-old Yoel
Romero. You're right, 25. My second pick. So I think this is going to go. So I picked Habib as my first. My second pick is there's rumors of Amanda Nunes returning. Kayla Harrison is in the UFC. Imagine.
Lame. Come on. I'm like making up people.
Imagine Ronda Rousey returns. And it's, dude, Ronda Rousey versus Kayla Harrison on a poster, on a pay-per-view. That is money. A press conference between those two ladies.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to get Ronda beat up. Dave's trying to get Dave doesn't care if his people win.
No, I'm looking for the money. I got Habib versus Conor too, and Ronda versus Kayla Harrison. So that's my 2. I just think it's honestly, if she came back, and I know she would, but if she did, even right now, it would probably be the biggest female fights in the history. Her versus Amanda, her versus Kayla right now would be massive.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, that would be huge.
So this is your last pick.
Better Ronda. Do what?
This is your very last pick. Make sure this is.
All right. My last one.
Yep.
Is going to be GSP. And not because I necessarily think that like there's a specific fight that I want to see, but because I actually don't think he would do as well as people think he would with today's welterweights. And just out of pure curiosity, like even in his prime, I think, like I told you my hot take, I think prime Usman smashes prime GSP. I think Leon is a crazy tough fight for GSP.
Yeah.
Like this age of welterweights, I think is different. And I would love just to be able to see them compete at that when they're both in their prime. Like the current welterweight category intrigues me.
I like that. That's a good one. He was definitely on my radar, and you'll see the 3rd pick. I almost went with GSP as my 2nd round because you'll see my 3rd. Yes, GSP. Miss Daisy would love to see GSP against a new level fighter. We would. It would be fun. So that's a great pick, Elle. That to me, that's your best pick. I would give you that one. All right. So,
not 25-year-old Yoel Romero.
I'm just going to pass on that. Okay.
That's elite right there.
The 1st pick is Habib. I went for the money. 2nd pick, I picked Ronda Rousey. I did for the money.
Went for the money.
This 3rd pick is all heart. This 3rd pick, and it was so funny because I just went through my social, some old pictures, and like the date came up of it. This picture, this is a little bit before you, Elle Dawson. I think you maybe came a little bit of this, but this 3rd pick of mine is a complete homer Dave Van Auken love pick. I don't know if myself and Fight Banaz would be in the spot we would be if it wasn't for this person. My 3rd pick is Felicia the Phenom Spencer. That's my 3rd pick. So, like Felicia, it's kind of funny. Long story short, she was like the first like big UFC type of fighter that like gave me like, yeah, I'll like, chat with you. And she's from Orlando and stuff of that nature. We did so much content together. And then I will never forget, Elle. She came over the house. She lost the bet. She had to walk my kids around the block. Her and her husband came over. Like I consider Felicia a good friend. And she called me, I think it was like a Thursday or Friday night. And we usually do like something. She had like a little segment of the show, like Monday or Tuesday. And she's like, hey, I want to do something big for this segment coming up this week. I'm like, okay, cool. What do you have in mind? She's like, it's going to be really big. I'm like, awesome. What's up? She's like, I'm retiring. Like I'm retiring from MMA. And like, and she's like, Dave, you're like the 2nd person. No, she's like, I'm the 3rd person in the world that knows. It was her husband and her head coach, the only 2 people. And she like, some best girlfriends, like you would tell one of your girl, whatever. I just felt like super honored. Like I was like, all like, wow, like really? She's like, yeah, she did it for health reasons. And she had, in her family had like, dementia stuff. And she's just so tough. She's too tough for her own good. She lasted all 5 rounds with Amanda Nunes. Like Amanda Nunes couldn't stop Felicia. Like that's how tough she is. So we went to Universal Studios together, and it's so cool. That's the picture I saw, was she like announced her retirement. And also too, like I kind of been on some bigger platforms, but like when that happened, because it's me and her doing this thing together, like Ariel Helwani shouted me out, and MMA Junkie, I think like USA Today, like there was multiple things that talked about it, and they had to like mention Dave Van Auken from Fight Finesse. It was a big deal kind of for me in my kind of
for the brand and
yes. So like I always appreciated that. I still do. I still like reach out to her every now and then to like how's everything going. But so my 3rd pick is all heart, Felicia Spencer. There you go.
Yeah, my team would kick your team's ass, Dave. I
got 2 females. How does that?
I love Felicia.
Dude, I got Habib Nurmagomedov.
Habib's beating Prime Chael Sonnen at
Chael-
205. Actually, might be 205 these days.
I know. Dude,
He's
Chael
looking
Sonnen is one of my all-time favorite talkers, communicators. I still listen to his podcast weekly. I don't know inside the UFC if Chael Sonnen ever had a prime. All right, come on.
He was beating the piss out of Anderson Silva. He was winning the whole fight.
He was on the Ryan Garcia diet.
Free USADA doesn't count. Free USADA.
I know. Dude, no, that was probably other than UFC 200, and I don't know when the second fight between Chael and Anderson was. I remember like 8 of my friends getting together that Saturday. Like I was so pumped for that fight. Like that was one of like, guys, it's Monday of the week. And I had nothing to do with like MMA media of that time, but it's like, guys, we're 4 days away from Chael Silva too. Like I cannot wait for that fight. Cannot wait.
It's iconic. That was an iconic moment. And I mean, that fight just went into the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, it did. Like, I can't believe he tapped. Like,
I know.
How does he get in that predicament? Like, just you're up 4 rounds to nothing, just run away.
One of the best guys to never win a belt.
Yeah. And he's so funny afterwards. He's like, dude, I thought I tapped and would lose round 5, and I run the other 4 rounds. I'm up 4-1.
Yeah.
Like, some of this stuff is so funny.
Well, and then there was the fight too. I can't remember who it was, but the other guy missed weight. And what they should have done was Chael would still have been eligible to win the belt, but for some reason they made neither of them eligible to win the belt because the champ missed weight and he wins that fight. Like he's been so close so many times.
Was it Nate Marquardt? Maybe, I don't know. But that's another one. John Jones. Not even that. Remember, he broke his toe. So like if Chael could have just lasted those last 40 seconds, and if he just would have lasted the round, like probably John couldn't walk the next round. Like he would have beat John Jones.
That's
like getting beat up.
I gotta point out too, Sean. He was juiced when he fought John Jones. John Jones was also juiced.
Yeah.
All the time. So
yeah. And John is just a superior athlete. So then on HGH, they're both like that. You know, he's still a level ahead.
Right.
Dude, I don't know why I love this show, Elle. MMA Weekly Roundup. I think I know. It's it's kind of like just some of our phone conversations. It's just
I literally was sitting and I was like sat down with Grant. I was like, we have to create like legendary fighters. And he's like, oh, Yoel. And I was like, 25-year-old Yoel Romero.
Like, I wish I can and I talk to both of you guys enough. I just wish I can be like sometimes a birdie or a bug on your kitchen. like when you make those awesome chicken tenders and air fryer, like do you and your husband be like, all right, so UFC 298 was this? What do you like? Is it like this total like nerd out for UFC? Do you?
It's kind of just nerd out in general.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
Yeah. No, dude. You guys are good fish. You guys are definitely good fish. Grant Dawson. Oh, dude, he's fighting, and that's coming up quick.
A month.
Yeah. And you guys leave like what, Tuesday or Wednesday for New Jersey? Tuesday?
Yeah, we leave May 28th.
Dude, we're May 4th today? 3rd, 4th?
Yeah, it's the 3rd today.
25 days before you travel into your prelim main event against Joe Solecki. And not even that. If something happens to one of the fights of the pay-per-view, maybe Grant Dawson's on the main card of a Dustin Poirier winning championship pay-per-view.
That'd be sick. I just want to see Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa at a press conference. I am dying to see that. It's
so funny because Islam doesn't really talk that much, and Dustin is usually like pretty like well-mannered and like behaved. Yeah. So like he's not going to do anything like. No, the co-main's going to be the ones being catty. The press conference, Islam and Dustin shouldn't even show. And I love Dustin Poirier. Like we just had the greatest interview with them. They should be like, guys, we're just going to stay at home. You know, like we don't need to be Costa and Strickland just go after it. Like that is going to be insane. It's going to get weird. Insane. By the way, on that fight, it's so funny. I don't know why. Like I talked to 3 people about it real quick. I haven't really talked to you about it. It was Strickland. I have like Paulo Costa winning that fight. I don't know why. I think he's going to like train track him like Alex Pieta did a little bit.
I saw that, Queen. Smilla missed weight. Dude, you want like one is making her fight in the same weight class that she fought when she got signed there. And she got signed to one when she was 17 years old. Like, I have a feeling this is just another thing one is doing wrong, to be honest. But
When are we gonna get that Sage Northcutt exclusive interview?
He ghosted everybody. I
Yeah,
never
dude.
saw him say another word about it. I'm pretty sure one called him up and was like, "Hey, you want to be locked into a contract that you can never get out of and not fight at
Iron
all?
Claw contract. You will never fight again, ever."
I think there's too much shadiness going on over there. But yeah, I think Smilla needs to go up a weight class. She's 20. Was she 21 now? She's like, you don't have the same body when you're 17 and when you're 21. Like,
I know. We talked about that earlier. That's where my friend's son was making fun of my 4-pack. Now it's a 1-pack.
Dave's making excuses for why he doesn't have abs like Yoel Romero has at the age of almost 50.
Dude, if I took, and I'm not against that either. I would take the Juicy Juice pills to whatever I had to do.
Go for it. USADA ain't showing up to test you.
I just talk about it. I don't be about it. I just talk about it. But I would have a 14-pack on those HGH chewable pills. Sage, how does that? Come on. Sage was going to be on the show until he got the hush money.
He tagged us and said he was going to come on our show and spill the beans, but one told him, shh.
It's there to say, thank you, Sean. They're there, bro. Dude, I have I'll put it on my socials actually because of this. I played a little basketball in high school. I was kind of decent, whatever. But I have like this awesome picture. It's like I know exactly what it was. It was like after a July 4th party, and kind of like what you were doing now. I was just sitting out baking when you're like 16 or 17 years old. It's what you did. And I had like an 8-pack, and they're like super tan. It's like one of my favorite pictures. I have it on my iPhone as a 40-year-old. That's how good the picture is. It's pretty good. All right, that's it. Enough about me. Enough about me. I will definitely watch that interview. Keep trying. Thanks, Queen.
Dude. Queen, go slide into Sage's DMs and tell him we're trying to get the scoop, the inside scoop on one.
The inside scoop. Talking about the inside scoop, we'll end with this. How cool was our Dustin Poirier interview with him? I'm telling you guys, like I would think it's the biggest thing we've ever done here in Fight Bananas. It is everywhere and anywhere. Go on Twitter, go on any socials, you go on all the big platforms. They're all kind of quoted what we talked about on the show and what Dustin said. So much great content. And it's so funny. There's even a couple clips that I didn't even get. Like, I love the clip that I talk about my daughter fighting and his daughter fighting. Like, I was like, I can't like make 40 clips of the Poirier interview. I got to like not have them all. But,
save some for next week.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was, I thought that was a cool interview. It's been good for Fight Bananas. Let's just say that. We love it. Cool. All right. Anything else, Miss Elle?
No, I mean, we covered everything. We covered Ryan Garcia failing drug tests.
Yep.
The weirdest weight miss in UFC history.
Trying to make flyweight.
That my fantasy team would totally crush your fantasy team.
I'm sorry that my team has a little bit of heart, Elle Dawson. You guys,
I have Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen, Yoel Romero, and maybe those guys would be.
Chael Sonnen is all heart. He's undefeated, okay?
And GSP. That's a great team. It really is. To me, I got the money heart team. I got Khabib Nurmagomedov. Dude, what's a bigger fight? Ronda Rousey versus Kayla Harrison and Khabib versus Charles Oliveira? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
those are amazing.
Yeah.
Huge. And then I have my Fight Bananas family, Felicia Spencer, returning to defeat Holly Holm for the championship.
I support that.
All right, there you go.
I support that.
In my fantasy world, Holly Holm is the champion, by the way. I don't know why, but she is.
I don't know why either.
It's an easy win for Felicia. Easy win.
That's fair.
Dude, like her, if you look up her career, like Fee had an awesome career. I think she was 8-3 in the UFC or 9-3 in the UFC. And one of the losses, I know this, we talked about it a little bit on the show. She never made this excuse. She never told people. She tore her ACL in the first round. No one knows. The UFC never knew, like they knew because they had whatever, but like she never went on a show, and she lost a split decision to Norma Dumont after tearing her ACL. So if she doesn't tear her ACL,
nails.
yeah, like I think she wins that fight. She lost to Cyborg and she lost to Amanda Nunes without being stopped by both girls. Yeah. Like, dude, she is, I'm telling you, she had an underrated run. I'm telling you.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. And it's just because the weight class isn't there anymore. And it was such a short-lived weight class. It's hard to like cement yourself unless you're GOAT status like Amanda with like 2 belts, you know? No, queen. I am never fighting at strawweight again.
Yeah.
I am an atom weight. 105. I'm too
Maybe
small.
for the PFL in 2025?
PFL, call me, please.
There you go. There you go. They pay pretty good.
Let's do it. Atom weight tournament. Me and K-Rock will fight each other for $1 million.
Well, and maybe you shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to ask you anyways. If you and Kayla, because you guys are good friends, right? I can say that, right?
I mean, she's my main training partner and vice versa.
Main training partner. Dude, we have a lot of love for Kayla, K-Rock here at Fight Bananas. If you guys fought in the last fight for the $1 million, would you guys the night before be like, hey, let's shake hands right now? We both make $500K. Like we'll have like a deal on the side. Of course, whoever wins, like it gets the, you're the championship and you move on, you get other media stuff, all that stuff. So you definitely want to win. But would you make a deal with her of like, hey, let's just, we'll split it right now, 50-50?
I don't know. We'd have to talk about it. We have to talk about it, see where she's at. I don't know if I should say that because that could possibly happen. I don't say it. Because that could actually be a real thing. We wouldn't fight each other unless it was for a lot of money. Like it would have to be like life-changing money.
$1 million is a good chunk.
Yeah, I fight my mom for $1 million. Are you kidding?
Would you submit her or would you TKO her?
Sorry, Mom.
Throw it out as a mom. Oh my god. All right, guys, that is the show this week on MMA Roundup. Dave Van Auken, Elle Dawson. So much great stuff is happening right now for Fight Bananas. We appreciate everyone. We are the People's Podcast, the People Show. We love you guys so much. Any comment, we'll always put that on. I know that was one of the best things ever. I'm cutting that up. You'll see that on our socials tonight. Elle Dawson fighting her mom and winning $1 million. Guys, tomorrow night, come with it. Around 9:30, we'll be going live for the 4 hours of UFC 301. I know you don't want to pay for the pay-per-view, so just come to Fight Bananas. We'll give you all the gossip. We'll have some fun. I think we're gonna have some pizza.
Watch us react to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I got 2 tall boys of Bud Light, like like the tall ones, like these. It's this tall. So around 12:30, I might get a little squishy. So there you go. That's tomorrow night. So you definitely want to be there for that. And so much. So Tuesday, we'll be back. We got Ross Levine, Jillian the Savage Robertson. Elle's got a secret guest for us that she will not say a name or his initials.
I shouldn't have said anything yet.
I know. Dude, the Dustin thing the week before, how bad was I? I was so bad. I'm like,
oh my god.
Every hit, I'm like,
I hadn't even confirmed Dustin yet, and Dave's like playing "Diamonds Are Forever" on all of our posts.
Oh gosh!
All right, we have to go. This show's been over for like 10 minutes.
There we go. All right, guys, we'll see everyone next week here at MMA Weekly Roundup. Later.
We'll see you tomorrow.